Hey buddy, here we go, getting this thing off the ground. Today's the day. I've been postponing it. A little bit scared. Here we go. I have an agenda. Let's see if that's visible. There it is. And it's just talking about the origin of this channel, purpose, and audience. So, the origin. I had this idea, I don't know, years ago, thinking to start a channel by myself that's essentially anonymous, where I don't give my name. I don't tell anybody about it because I'm kind of embarrassed in being vulnerable, and use it for various purposes, which I guess I'll get into in the purpose section. But I was planning on doing it alone and never got around to it. Didn't really think I ever would. And then last week, when I was watching one of the Vlog Brothers videos, Hank and John Green, realizing that their format of kind of like sending a video message to each other, kind of being a conversation, and I thought of you. I thought, hey, that'd be fun to do with you, and it would also give me some accountability and commitment to actually do it. So I'm sounded like you accepted my offer, so hoping you will have fun doing it like myself. All right, on to the purpose. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8 purposes here. Who knows how those will play out, but these are my ideas. I love brainstorming things, but how it actually plays out, work in progress, evolving, we'll see. First thing, exploring topics like writing, thinking through things, organizing thoughts. So I know about this idea of when you write things, when you do writing, you write through something, you really forces you to collect your thoughts, organize your thoughts, think through things at a deeper level. I really like that idea, but never had any motivation to do it in writing. But somehow the video context feels, I don't know, more attractive to me. So exploring topics, whatever they may be, that's something that I might like to do, and something perhaps we can do together. And as far as that together part, I guess the back and forthness, that's something we'll have to kind of figure out. Maybe there'll be things where I just talk about stuff, but you don't have to respond to it if you don't want to. It doesn't have to be a conversation. But that idea of just having a witness, knowing somebody's going to see it, there's something to that feels powerful, attractive, helpful. So that's kind of a big part of it, is that idea of the witness. And my reason for making it into a YouTube channel, there's something about the possibility that other people could see it. I guess it's another aspect of the witness, but there's something there that I find attractive as well. Keep using that word attractive, but that's what it is. So, yeah, but I guess I have an audience section, but even though it's on YouTube, it's a channel, but the audience really is really you and me. So my audience is talking to you, but also I guess kind of myself, because it's a medium for, like I said, thinking through things, practicing other things. All right, on to the next thing. Speaking skills, that's something I always want to get more practice with, and don't feel like I have really good speaking skills, but anyway, something I want to practice more, so this is a way to do that. And my remarkable went off, turning it back on. Storytelling. Storytelling is something that I've been fascinated about for a while. I wanted to get better at storytelling, and this would be a great venue to do that as well. So perhaps that's something I will do. Feynman technique. So Richard Feynman had this technique for learning things where there wasn't really an audience. This was just to yourself, but you're learning a topic, and then what you do is explain it to someone, I think he said like a fifth grader, somebody at a very low level. So you're not using jargon and big words and forcing you to bring it down. And I've long been fascinated by that and wanted to practice that. Never have. And so thought this might be a good venue for that. Oh, and I'm also remembered of the Ignite format. I don't know if those are popular anymore, but I know you're familiar with it, like Ignite Portland, Ignite Seattle. They did it at different places. The format being that it's a 5-minute talk and you have slides that auto advance every 30 seconds. So maybe that's something I would consider trying out or doing. We will see. Vulnerability. I like the idea of vulnerability. Again, making this into putting it out there in public that possibly other people could see, even though that's not my goal, is to promote it or even tell people about it. But the possibility of other people seeing it somehow gives it a formality. I don't know what it is, but I like it. It's like writing. I mentioned that. I mentioned, having a partner, having you to do it. It's a motivation for me to do it. And I would love the idea also of kind of the conversation back and forth to whatever extent we want to do that. And finally, power of the witness. I talked about that as well. There's something, I remember reading about that somewhere, but there's something about just having somebody witness you and what you say. So even if there's no feedback, there's something to that as well. And knowing that you will watch it is, that's a witnessing aspect, even if you don't reply with any feedback. So that's all my purposes. And then finally, audience. Again, I mentioned for me, it's just you, it's nobody else. And at least at this point, I don't envision ever telling anybody else about it, just because, I guess, of that vulnerability. Maybe it'll happen sometime. As for you, you're welcome to tell whoever you want about it. But from my end, for me to do it and to feel freedom around it, at least now I'm choosing not to tell anybody. Sharing with others, yep, like I said, not polished, no barriers. So it's something where I don't want to spend necessarily much time doing preparation for it, unless I feel drawn to do that, and that's fun. But initially, I just want to be, for myself, a low barrier where I just have a thought about something and I do it. Oh, and I was thinking too, when I mentioned it to you at coffee last week, about, kind of like how people used to write letters to one another, back in the 1800s, philosophers, scientists, well, anybody really. But that idea of kind of, letters are kind of a one-sided thing, asynchronous communication, I guess, and something I like about that. Let's see. Again, acknowledge thought, conversation. So I guess that's something we can work through too. For me, there'd be value in just doing them and having you acknowledge that you saw them, but not giving feedback or adding on to the conversation, if that's what you prefer. Or if it's a conversation, I like that idea too. So open to whatever there. And I also already mentioned no pressure of thinking someone else will see it. For myself, I don't want that pressure. So I like the idea that somebody else might see it, but I don't want to put any pressure on myself that I want it to be something that I care about the audience. Again, the audience for me is you and myself. I think that's everything. So the ball's in your court. Let me know what you think. And this is kind of just a meta topic about what this is about. My ideas, open to your ideas. we'll work it together, and I'll start thinking about what to put in my next video. All right, over and out, buddy.